Well, hey everyone. It seems like forever since we've just done a random hiking chat. As you can see, everything's kind of greened up. We're unofficially into summer right now. It's the beginning of June 2022, June 10th to be exact. It's 84 degrees, probably about 79, 80% humidity, so it's a little warm, although in the shade here under the trees, it's not that bad. I am going to be hiking into an area which I hiked Christmas Eve when we had the snowstorm, and I'm hoping that the mountain laurels are actually still in bloom. I discovered an area that had a whole lot of mountain laurels, so hopefully they're still in bloom and it's still pretty. It's a beautiful day to get out. Like I said, it's nice and cool under the shade. It's also felt like forever since we've done a proper hiking chat. So I've got a few things I need to bring you up on, why I haven't done really any hiking this year, kind of what's been going on. So we're going to get into that in a little bit, but first, got to do the old bug spray. It rained heavy last night, so I'm hoping the trail is not that flooded, or at least the beginning part of the road isn't. Also putting this on to repel any ticks, because I've already had a tick bite this year and I really don't want to get Lyme disease again. Deep wood's off, hoping it keeps the mosquitoes away, although they typically don't do anything for black flies. But so far since I've been spraying it, the bugs seem to have gone away. So let's get back on the trail, and then I'm going to find a spot, kind of bring you a little bit up to date on what's been going on with me, what this spring has been looking like. Alright, well, it looks like they opened up a new trail instead of going in by the road. So I'm gonna take that. Got it blue blazed and a sign that says side trail to the north-south trail, which is the one that takes you from Buck Hill all the way to Charleston, Rhode Island, down by the beach, 78 miles. So it looks like they opened up this pretty nice. And as you can see, hopefully the camera's picking it up, we do have some mountain laurels that are still in bloom. Hopefully there'll be some a little bit closer to the trail that I can show you. Alrighty, well, we're starting to get back into the area a little bit. I think next time I'm going to bring some cutters with me just to open up this trail a little bit more. But yeah, I think this trail needs to be opened up, and we're actually up to one of the first bushes. It's a good sign that this one's in bloom. Hopefully that area will just be totally full. So, as you can see, they have a nice pink hue to them, white. So the area that I want to go to would just be totally surrounded with this. So hopefully this is a good sign. I got some more in bloom over here. Well, don't know if you can see him, but little visitor on the trail today. That there is a garter snake. They're definitely not poisonous at all. Just a friendly variety up here in Rhode Island. Yep, there he goes. As you can see, as we're continuing up through, more and more that I'm seeing are just barely starting to get in bloom. The flowers are still kind of closed up in this little like cone shaped type bud. So yeah, we're almost at the spot where the fire pit is. Someday I may come back up here and make a campfire, do a little cooking, but everything right now is just way too wet today from last night's rains. We're at the fire pit. So Mountain laurels up here in New England are a form of rhododendron, in case you're wondering. But you can see just pretty much how much in bloom these woods are. It's like we're still pretty much in the early stages, but depending on the weather, this area might get totally full of them. And as you can see, the rain has knocked down a lot of them as well. Alright, here comes a spot that is just totally in bloom. Hopefully the camera's picking all this up. So yeah, it's been a little thick coming up through here in certain places, but as you can see, the forest is just alive. Autumn is still my favorite time of year, but when you got this happening out in nature, I mean, you just can't deny the beauty of it. I am totally surrounded by mountain laurel bushes right now. Some still have a lot of flowers on them. Other ones, the rain's knocked off the flowers. You can just see that all the flowers up in the back through there, all up through there, and more up ahead over here. And I'm still not even totally back into the area where I was completely surrounded and my trail just ended. Look at this. All over there. It's completely in bloom. I know the camera's gonna pick it up, but there's a big one off in the distance there. Big mountain laurel tree. Alrighty, so hopefully the wind isn't too bad in this camera right now, but I am up to the area where the trail came to an end. Last year when I came up here during the snow on Christmas Eve, and totally surrounded by mountain laurels, but this particular spot not much in bloom as I thought it would be, but there is still a lot in bloom. As you can see up behind me, there's some up through there as well, which I don't think the camera's going to be able to pick up, but I'm going to hike out of here. I'm going to head up the main road a little bit where there was more laurels on the side of the road, and then I'm going to find a spot to kind of fill you in on what's been going on. So I just had a rabbit run out in front of me, but wasn't quick enough to get him on camera. You can see up through here, more mountain laurels in bloom. Starts getting a little thick up through there. Not sure I want to hike in through that with the amount of ticks that have been out this year. Got some more mountain laurels in bloom up through there. Alrighty, so with these mountain laurels behind me, it's probably a good place as any to kind of do an update and tell you what's been going on. So as you notice, through the spring I've posted a bunch of different videos about cleaning my cast iron, planting my garden, doing some dehydrating, making some skin moisturizers, and a bunch of different things. Haven't been out hiking much. It's been a very windy, probably about 4 months, and as you can tell today, it's windy again. But yeah, it's been probably about 4 months of wind, and I'm talking about 35-40 mile an hour winds, which just makes it too dangerous for getting out in the woods. So that's why there hasn't been that much hiking videos. The other thing that's been going on, you know, my channel is not a political channel. I don't post about what's going on here in the US with inflation and all that. There's enough channels that do. You see it, the rising cost of anything, but gas here is almost $6 a gallon. So that's one of the other reasons why I've been staying closer to home and not getting out much. My car is old, got 230,000 miles on it. Starting to show every bit of that mileage. I only put about $30 at a time in the gas tank, just in case something happens and the car decides to want to no longer run. So $30 right now doesn't even get me half a tank of gas, which is pretty sad. I know people on average, every time they're filling up, it's $100, $150, and I don't even want to talk about diesel truck drivers right now that it's like $600 to $1,000 every time they fill their big rigs up. So yeah, like I said, I'm not a political channel, but so cost is one reason why I have not been getting out that much. Also had some family issues going on. My mom and stepfather are aging. They're almost 80. My stepfather's 79, my mom's 78. They're definitely slowing down and don't do things like they used to, so I'm starting to pick up doing more of the yard work and helping them out with that, kind of keeping an eye on them. Mom took a fall with the dog and she banged her head, went to the hospital. She's kind of okay. She has some lingering things going on, but the hospital just basically said there's nothing wrong with her, so that's where we're at with that. And I've got some issues going on with extended family right now. One of them's in the hospital with some health issues, so that's kind of where we're at. I'm back to working full-time hours. working pretty close to 40 hours, sometimes a little more than 40 hours a week, working in sporting goods, which is my passion. So hunting, fishing, camping. This store doesn't do much hiking stuff. They're kind of like a home farming and outdoor stuff. Big of their area is farming agriculture, and sporting goods, and I'm in the sporting goods section. So my days off have not been like scheduled close together. When I go out camping, I like to head out the first day early as I can. I'd like to do at least 2 nights, if not more, before heading home, because just heading out, by the time you could check in at the campgrounds at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, to camp one night and then to be out by 11 o'clock the next morning is not really that beneficial to me. You know, I like to take 1 or 2 nights, explore the areas that I'm at. If there's any hiking trails, any swimming, fishing, or whatever. So that's kind of where it's been right now. I work like 3-4 days straight. I'll have a day off. Then I'll probably work 1 or 2 more days, then have a day off, and then, but the schedule is kind of rotating. Some days I work early, some days I close. So that's where it's been at. As far as my online presence, the way things are going right now, with my timing and also the state of social media and just what people are posting, I really don't have time for all the political nonsense that's going on right now. I have my opinions, but I do not share them that much, or I try not to share them at all. So based on that, I have deleted my Twitter account, I deleted my TikTok account, and I have deleted my Tumblr account. I'm not sure really anybody gets on Tumblr anymore anyway, but TikTok was one that people ask me why did I do that, since that seems to be a platform that's really taken off and is going to stay relevant. Truthfully, the videos that I posted weren't getting that much attraction. TikTok is more for your silly, well, I call them silly, but anyway, you're like silly, goofy, humorous, short videos, not too much about like outdoor stuff. So yeah, that's why I kind of just decided I wasn't viewing TikTok that much, wasn't posting that much. What I was posting wasn't getting views. It seems like if I had done something totally goofy or silly, it would get views, but what I'm into wasn't getting views. So yeah, TikTok went away. So right now I've got my outdoor Facebook channel, I got my YouTube, and I'm still doing Instagram, although not as much lately just because I haven't been getting out. The other thing is my merchandise. I have closed my Etsy store. The products really were not selling. My area is highly saturated with the products I was offering. There's like probably 30 different vendors right in my area alone. But then Etsy also upped their processing fees, postage increase, and then my raw materials for making my products have totally increased. So I looked at the cost behind that and what I would have to charge to try to make any sort of profit, and like everything else with the economy right now and inflation, it just blew the price out of the water. And the sales were reflecting that. So yeah, my Etsy store is gone. The products that I had, I'm going to save them up as Christmas gifts for family. I'm going to use the products myself. My outerwear store out of Canada, which has all my tote bags, scarves, and hats. With the inflation, sales have completely stalled on that, so I have not designed anything. I've debated over the past year of just totally deleting that also and closing that store, but I haven't done it just yet. Something I'm thinking about. What seems to be going good right now is my Society 6 and Zazzle. So those stores are starting to pick up sales again, which is really good. Probably going to devote more time into that. So with the time being freed up from the other social media, the other stores and everything is going to give me more time to do my YouTube, which I really love, which is first and foremost, and then my products, which is secondary. So that's pretty much what's been going on. We're getting into summer. Hopefully I can get some camping in this summer. There's not too many places to free camp here in Rhode Island, even though there's some lovely spots. But if you get caught camping in a non-designated camping area, like if I was just to hike out in the woods like I am now and hike and camp overnight, if the DEM was to catch me, you have to go to court, there's fines, and you could have your camping gear confiscated. So, but I do have some plans coming up in the fall time. I'm hoping to get out some more in the backyard, do some cooking in the cast iron that I've acquired. Show you some more game cooking once I get the game. Right now my freezer is absolutely full of fish. I've got trout, I've got salmon. Just in there, had some really good days where I've caught my limit. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. But yeah, just a beautiful day. Mountain laurels totally in bloom. Totally climbing that tree over there. I'm wondering if that's more of a wisteria bush. I just had a sparrow of some type buzz my head. He landed right in front of me. Saw a rabbit coming in, but I didn't get a video of it. Moon's out. So just a beautiful day, about 84 degrees, high humidity. So we're definitely getting into summer. So that's the update for now. And gonna film a little more, hike a little more. Bunch of piled up stone from a quarry. You can probably see some of the cut marks in the rocks where they drilled down and blasted it with dynamite. But that cliff in front of me with that big tree, I took a pretty nasty fall when I was a kid. Probably about a good 30 feet or so up. And right at the top there used to be a branch that went over, and there was a natural spring that came out over the rock and went back into the ground. Don't know if that spring is there or not now because we've had a really dry spring. But what happened was we used to lower ourselves over the rock that's over there, come down onto the next level, and then climb on down. Well, what happened when I was a kid was, I don't remember, I used to have blackout periods when I was a kid, and I don't remember grabbing on to the branch. I just remember a bunch of gray flying by me, and then somebody yelling, you know, what am I trying to do? Kill myself? And then at the bottom, just getting up off the ground and screaming because I was all scraped up. What they said happened was, I had tumbled where that first rock is, and then I just pretty much went straight down the rest of this, not even tumbling, just kind of like out a foot or two. And then I had hit my head on that rock right there that's sticking up, and they said I laid there probably for a good 5 or 10 minutes unconscious. They weren't sure how they were going to get me out of the woods, but then eventually I gained consciousness. Never had a concussion, never had any problems after that. But yeah, that's why I don't particularly go rock climbing too much anymore. I had a real bad experience with it. Now up in that all that rock formation up there used to be full of raccoons. We actually found a couple raccoon traps up there when I was a kid. But yeah, so this is a quarry. Like I said, we had a really dry spring. We're actually in the midst of a drought right now, so no water in it today to show you any frogs jumping around. But yeah, that's the rock formation we used to climb. All the other rocks up through here. I don't know if you can see him, but he's way up in that tree right there. Big old bar owl. Yeah, that's a barred owl. He's calling to the other one down there. Pretty cool, that owl. At least you got to hear him. So, alright, kind of up to the end of where the mountain laurels are totally growing. Kind of also at a forking trail. Really don't feel like going any further. As you can see, my light is starting to dim, so probably got another 3 or so hours before it gets dark. So I'm gonna head back to the car, and we'll see you in the next video. Hopefully see the owl again on the way out, but because he kind of flew in the direction that I'm going to be heading to, head on out of here. But yeah, that was pretty cool to see. I only saw one other owl in the wild, and that was at a bog garden in North Carolina where they were nesting. But to actually just see one randomly in the woods like that was pretty cool.